Chosen one, you passed every test. Victory is yours. This is not just a statement of encouragement. This is a divine confirmation. You didn't just survive what others could not endure. You overcame it with grace. Life placed you through unseen battles, emotional storms, moments of silence, and lonely tests that were meant to crush you. But you didn't fold. You didn't give up. Instead, you became stronger, wiser, more powerful. And now, you are entering your victory season. Before we go further, stay with this video until the end. There is something powerful here for your spirit, and type your warmest wishes in the comments. And don't forget to write 777 as a powerful sign that your energy is aligned with this message. That single act releases energy, awakens the flow of manifestation, and tells the universe you're ready. Ready for your harvest. Ready for your win. Ready for your victory. Now, chosen one, like this video, subscribe if you haven't subscribed to the channel, and let's begin. This moment you're in is not a coincidence. There's a sacred reason why you've been feeling an inner shift. You've been sensing something is near. A breakthrough, a shift, a reward. And yes, you are right. You have passed every single invisible test that was thrown your way. When people turned their backs, when betrayal knocked, when doors closed, and you still stood strong, that was a test. When everything seemed to fall apart, but you chose faith over fear, that was a test. And when the silence of heaven seemed deafening, but you didn't give up on your purpose, that was a test too. You passed them all. And now, something glorious is unfolding. The realm of divine reward has been opened for you, not just because of your effort, but because of your obedience, your patience, your resilience. You didn't let pain harden your heart. You didn't let disappointment stop your faith. You didn't let rejection silence your voice. You kept showing up. You kept believing. You kept holding on to your calling even when it made no sense to the natural mind. That kind of tenacity is rare. That kind of endurance is powerful. And the universe, the divine forces, the energy of purpose, they all noticed. You are walking into a season where the very things that used to test you will now testify for you. The people who doubted you will witness your rise. The ones who tried to break you will see how unbreakable you truly are. And most of all, the version of you that once questioned if they were good enough will now stand tall in undeniable victory. You are not the same person anymore. The fire refined you, the pressure formed you, and the waiting prepared you for everything that's about to unfold. Don't be surprised when blessings start arriving rapidly. You earned them. But more than that, you were chosen for them. You were chosen for this timeline, for this purpose, for this magnitude of favor. You are not average. You are not replaceable. You are not random. You are an intentional creation with a purpose that was protected even through your darkest seasons. Every single tear, every moment of doubt, every sleepless night, it all had a reason. And now that reason is revealing itself in the form of harvest. Victory isn't just ahead. It has already started. You will notice it in unexpected favor. You'll feel it in the clarity of your thoughts. You'll see it in how doors start opening without force. You'll hear it in how people start speaking your name in rooms you've never entered. This is the shift you've prayed for. This is the moment that confirms everything you've sensed was coming. And the beautiful thing is, this is just the beginning. There are blessings that have your name on them, and they are now being released. There are answers you've waited years for, and they're arriving. There are connections you've dreamed of, and they're being aligned. There are miracles tailor-made for you, and they are no longer delayed. Because you passed the tests, the release has been activated. You don't owe anyone an explanation for how this favor found you. The spiritual realm knew what you went through. It's heaven's way of saying, "Well done." With God's blessings, you are invited to bless this message by giving a divine gift of $50 or more through the Super Thanks button on YouTube. Together, let's spread faith, hope, and love, bringing light not just into your own life, but also to those who need it most. Your generosity becomes a seed of inspiration and healing for countless souls. Stay grounded, stay grateful, but also stay open. Don't limit how this victory unfolds. Some wins will come quietly, some will come loudly, some will look like peace, others will look like promotion, some may even look like redirection. But all of them are part of the divine unfolding that was always meant for you. You're in the middle of a supernatural orchestration. What looked like delays were actually alignments. What seemed like detours were divine redirections. You weren't losing time. You were being hidden for the right time. You were not just tested in your patience. You were tested in your faith, in your loyalty to your vision, and in your character. That's why your victory is so pure. That's why what's coming can't be stopped. You didn't cheat your way here. You didn't manipulate the outcome. You didn't sell out. You didn't betray your integrity. That's why what is coming is so deeply blessed. And what God blesses, no one can curse. What the divine has approved, no force can block. This season isn't about survival. It's about celebration. You're no longer just making it through. You're about to thrive. You're about to expand. You're about to overflow. The weight is lifting. The pressure is turning into peace. The confusion is turning into clarity. The struggle is transforming into a testimony. You are about to be surrounded by the proof of your persistence. Even now, you can feel it. Can't you? That sense of divine movement in the air. That quiet confirmation in your soul that says, "I'm close." Trust it. Trust it even if you can't see all the details yet. The same force that guided you through the storm is now guiding you to the spotlight. You didn't miss your moment. You didn't lose your window. You didn't mess up your destiny. It's still yours. It's always been yours. You are standing at the edge of manifested promise. And no voice of doubt, no past failure, no recent setback can cancel what's been appointed for your life. The shift is spiritual first. The results will follow in the natural. Watch how things start to align. Watch how everything that confused you will now make sense. Watch how effortlessly you'll move in the very areas you once struggled in. You have passed the tests. Now, the gates are opening. More is coming, and it's bigger than what you've prayed for. Chosen one, understand this clearly. Not everyone could have survived what you did, but you did more than survive. You transformed. You didn't just walk through the fire. You came out with the fire inside of you. You were being sculpted. The trials weren't punishments. They were preparations. They weren't obstacles. They were tools to build you into the unstoppable force you are now becoming. Everything served a purpose. Everything made you sharper, more aware, more prepared. You didn't just pass tests. You became the kind of person who no longer fears the next one. That is why you can walk confidently now. You can walk into the rooms that once intimidated you. You can speak with authority where you once whispered in doubt. You can move with certainty where you once second-guessed everything. This is your transformation era. The person who once wondered if they'd make it is now the person who inspires others to rise. And you didn't get here by accident. This version of you was forged, refined, anointed through resistance. People may look at you now and only see the outer glow, the new victories, the open doors. But they weren't there for the battles behind closed doors. They didn't see the lonely nights, the spiritual warfare, the self-doubt, the tears that no one knew about. But heaven did. The divine took account of every moment. The universe recorded every act of courage you showed when no one was watching. That's why your reward is sacred. It's not just for you. It's a message, a sign to others that faithfulness is never forgotten. This victory isn't loud for everyone, but it will be loud to you. It'll echo in the peace that surrounds your decisions now. It'll reflect in the way you don't panic anymore when things shift unexpectedly. You've matured spiritually. You're no longer desperate for clarity, because now you understand that divine guidance doesn't always come with full instructions. It comes with alignment, with inner knowing, with calm in the chaos, and that calm is now your strength. Everything you once feared is bowing to your resilience. The very things that tried to break you are now breaking open the path you were always meant to walk. You're entering a season where things will work, not by force, but by flow. People will offer help without being asked. Ideas will come without being chased. Connections will form without confusion. Opportunities will arise without competition, because you've aligned with your divine assignment, and the frequency of your life is now matching the favor assigned to it. Don't second-guess this moment. Don't ask if it's too good to be true. It's not. It's what you've been prepared for. It's what your pain whispered to you in the silence. Just hold on a little longer. You did. And now the universe is responding. You passed the test of patience. You passed the test of character. You passed the test of identity. And now, it's time to inherit what belongs to the refined version of you. You're about to recognize yourself in a way you never have before. The wins are not just physical. They're spiritual confirmations. They're reminders that your belief was not in vain, that your surrender was not a mistake, that your trust in the unseen realms was not wasted, that your heart, which kept loving even through betrayal and hardship, was not a weakness. It was a doorway, a portal to power, to healing, to overflow. Chosen one, this is where the cycles break. This is where generational patterns end with you. This is where lack, fear, and scarcity dissolve, because your presence shifts atmospheres now. You carry the weight of spiritual authority, the light of divine alignment. You are no longer begging for a seat at the table. You are becoming the table. You are not hoping someone picks you. You've realized you were chosen from the beginning, even when people couldn't see it, even when you forgot it for a moment. Your destiny remained secure. That's why you kept getting back up, not because you had all the strength, but because the power that picked you had already decided. They will win. And now? Now you're in the manifestation of that silent, supernatural decision. You're not chasing what's already yours anymore. You're walking into it. This victory is not just symbolic. It's structural. It's affecting your life, your relationships, your finances, your creativity, your decisions, your peace. You'll begin to see how things that once overwhelmed you now look small from the new elevation you're walking in. It's not pride, it's perspective. You've grown, you've risen, you've expanded beyond what tried to contain you. And there's no going back now. Be ready for confirmations, sudden emails, unexpected calls, new partnerships, financial surprises, emotional clarity, spiritual downloads. This is the wave. the wave that carries everything your soul has prepared for. This is not coincidence. This is calibration. The universe is syncing with the version of you that refused to die in the wilderness, that refused to drown in the storm, that refused to settle in the waiting. There is momentum behind you now. The winds are in your favor. You're not pushing alone anymore. The force of purpose is pushing with you. You're not praying blindly anymore. You're receiving what you used to ask for in tears. You're not hoping with fear anymore. You're believing with boldness. You are no longer in a holding pattern. The runway is clear. The elevation is set. It's time to rise. Without apology, without hesitation, without delay. You passed every test. Chosen one. The reason it's all starting to make sense now is because you're finally viewing life from the level you were always meant to rise to. The fog has lifted. The confusion is clearing. And the truth is shining so brightly you can no longer pretend not to see it. You were chosen to win. And the winning doesn't start someday. It has already started. It's happening now, in real time, and there's no force that can reverse what has been divinely ordered in your favor. When you were in the middle of your test, it didn't feel like victory was coming. In fact, there were moments when it felt like the complete opposite. You questioned everything. You doubted your progress. You wondered if you were doing something wrong because the pain felt so deep and the pressure so heavy. But what you didn't know at the time is that the pressure was never meant to crush you. It was designed to crown you. And now here you are, stronger, wiser, more in tune with your destiny. The weight you carried has shifted. What was once a burden has now become your breakthrough. What was once resistance is now revealing your resilience. You didn't break, and because of that, you're about to break records. You're going to go further, higher, deeper than even your past self dreamed. You're not walking into average success. You're stepping into divine dominance. This is why things couldn't happen earlier. This is why certain people had to leave. This is why you were isolated, protected, shielded. The tests weren't punishments. They were divine filters. God was removing distractions, cutting ties, and eliminating what wasn't qualified to go where you're headed. You were being upgraded, internally and externally. And the new version of you needed space, stillness, silence, so it could rise in strength without outside interference. The quiet seasons were not empty. They were sacred. That's where your courage was rebuilt. That's where your spiritual vision sharpened. That's where your discernment was elevated. You had to learn to trust the voice within, not the noise around you. You had to recognize your inner power and become familiar with the divine GPS guiding your every step. And now that you've passed the test of patience, silence, and self-mastery, nothing can stop the rise that's been initiated. Your name is being spoken in high places. Doors you thought were shut forever are swinging open, not because of chance, but because it's your season. Things that once felt delayed are now arriving with supernatural speed. Don't second-guess it. Don't question your readiness. You've done the work in silence. Now let the rewards speak loudly. Let the favor announce you. Let the blessings introduce your name to realms you haven't even entered yet. This season isn't about trying anymore. It's about receiving. Your effort has already been multiplied. What's coming isn't just for your comfort. It's for your calling. You're about to influence, impact, and elevate others just by existing in your truth. The healed version of you is magnetic. Your energy is no longer burdened by the past. Your vibration has risen beyond fear, doubt, and survival. You're not walking. You're gliding on grace. There will be moments that leave you in awe, encounters that shift your spirit, unexpected opportunities that feel like divine dreams, and all of them will confirm what this message is already saying. You made it. You didn't fold. You didn't retreat. You didn't betray your mission. And because of that, you're being honored. The universe is honoring your endurance. The divine is rewarding your integrity. You stayed faithful. Now favor will find you everywhere you go. Let this sink in. The energy that once tried to destroy you now bows to the force you've become. The people who doubted you will have no choice but to watch your elevation. The very areas where you once struggled are turning into supernatural strengths. You are proof that silent seasons are not wasted. That pain is not the end. That divine timing always prevails. Your life is about to become the evidence of divine excellence. You don't need to fight anymore. The battle is over. The tests are behind you. Now, it's about harvesting, receiving, living in the overflow of answered prayers and fulfilled promises. You've already paid the price in tears, in time, in trials. Now it's your turn to reap what you've sown. And this time, you'll reap in abundance, not in lack. In ease, not in struggle. In joy, not in worry. Every step forward will feel lighter. Every connection will feel clearer. Every move will feel divinely inspired. That's because you're in alignment now. You're no longer reacting. You're creating. You're not chasing. You're attracting. Your energy has become a magnet for miracles because you've aligned your spirit with your truth. And that truth is simple. You are victorious, chosen, and favored. This isn't the season to explain yourself. Let the transformation speak. Let your peace be the proof. Let your glow be the answer. Let your consistency be the statement. What's coming is so undeniable, so beautiful, so unexpected. It will silence every critic, reward every seed, and fulfill every promise that ever felt delayed. You passed the test. Now live like the chosen one you are.